What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today we're going to check out SDE. SDE has received new treasures, and let me tell you, on the first look, those do seem really good. And SDE is not a hero that was never in the meta. It's not like we have our Luna or something here that doesn't deal any damage. SDE is a hero with big damage potential because she has a whole lot of burn in her kit, a whole lot of damage in her kit. Especially, I remember the times when, not Netherfish, that was the Dazzle that I put on her, when the Destiny transition was released, because when her Destiny transition was released, a whole lot of people said, well, this is kind of dealing a lot of damage, and she was in the PvP meta there for a little bit, and I remember that people wanted to have copies of her, but she wasn't really available. She's kind of rare, because not many people summoned for her today. You have the little problem that the older heroes weren't really added to the, by the way, new feature, filter feature. Great, I was really waiting for this. Absolutely helpful if you are a little bit of a hoarder like me. The base Transcendence copy selection chest doesn't include her. So she isn't one of the heroes that is commonly summoned. Usually people try to summon the new heroes and then maybe some of the high value heroes. She isn't really any of that, even in the other treasures, in the other Transcendence copy selection chest. She is either not in there, and I think in the ones where she is, she's together with some more valuable heroes like SSM and Holmesiang. So people aren't really going for it, which at the moment leads to her not really being available in the auction house. I just checked, there were 2 A-, 1 A tier, 1 A+. So not a whole lot, but we got the treasures now, and let me tell you, those do seem promising. If we check that out, and we're going to go into a little bit of PvP in a second, not with the festival treasures, we need Weaponry of Valor too. There are some interesting ones. The pink one isn't even it. We have, after releasing active skill, leads additional damage equal to 20% of the remaining burn damage to targets with 4 or more layers of burn, which is easy to achieve. You can achieve 4 more layers of burn rather easily if you take stuff like Nova, if you maybe have other heroes even that can inflict burn and put those on the team. Maybe even, is that an option? Wait a second, let me check that out. I was kind of thinking Ignatia could burn, but actually she can't, so I was wrong about that. But who can burn is Gagi, so there is a combo with that is possible if you have like the Judgment of Fury here that actually burns the enemies. And there are some other options too that we could dive into, but won't for this moment right now, because we're mainly wanting to check out what she can do. But you need 4 layers of burn, which you can inflict through herself, or maybe even through monster or something. You have different options to do so. And then she will deal actually a whole lot more damage, equal to 20% of the remaining burn damage, and that caps at 5000% of self-attack. So we do have a ton of damage over here. The limit sadly doesn't get upgraded. The amount of layer requirement also doesn't get upgraded. It just becomes more of the remaining burn damage, which kind of means like you need smaller burns, or you don't need as big of burns to really reach the cap, which isn't really too great, so really upgrading that is no use. Next one isn't too interesting. We have a little bit of HP restoration for the allies. Okay, we can skip that. Now we come to the important one. That is the one that is sick, ladies and gentlemen. When an enemy dies, immediately burns all enemies. That's cool. Dealing damage equal to 6% of the target's max HP for 6 rounds, making it easier for us to fulfill the requirement for the pink treasure. Cool. And then we have, with a 40% chance to inflict Dazzle on each target respectively for 2 rounds. So we just got, with this treasure, finally a proper way for SDE to inflict Dazzle. Just an enemy dying, we get a chance to inflict Dazzle. Absolutely great, which is pretty nice. And then when an ally dies, we immediately inflict Energy Oscillation. Energy Oscillation, they put the description in here, is pretty good. That is actually just dealing damage based on the energy the enemy has. It doesn't zero it, that isn't the carry effect. Sadly, would have been pretty cool actually, but we still get a 40% chance to reduce each target's energy by 40. So if your enemy has, like, let's say he does have something along the lines of an IEA, maybe we can fight somebody quickly. Let's fight. Who are we fighting? I think I saw that Darth Maul has a team up. If your enemy is something like an LBRM that they want to have die, or a Finn, or like an IEA, you can quickly put Dazzle out on like a whole lot of enemies as long as your SDE survives. Honestly, that is quite often a bit of a problem. So we're going to get in here. We do have Twine immunity, which helps us a lot. Star Soul I put on her. We have the Fish Star Soul on her. I would like Spectre, because you want to get the ult from her. Would be nice to get the ult from her consistently. Or Now we have a death. One enemy dead. We can see we get the Dazzle over there. We got the Dazzle over there. And now we have the Wukong there, which also got dazzled. So Dazzle working out fairly well. She's mage too, so that's rather nice. We don't really get a whole lot of damage now, because all the enemies are already dead. Which is, well, a little bit unfortunate. Maybe we have to try 1 or 2 more fights. We can speed this up now. And damage numbers, not a whole lot. We'll try one more time. Doesn't work out every time that consistently, but the thing is, getting the Dazzle out surely helps, especially if you have like multiple on-death effects. You will have to take the brunt force of like the IEA here. Even Oscar couldn't counter that because she's like half energy only, but then you maybe get to inflict Dazzle on something like an LBRM with that, and there's surely a nice help from SDE on this. Even if you get a kill on something else, of course, that would help. Now we got it on the chain attack, which means both effects hit us, but you can see it's not too bad. We get the Dazzle, it works out. And of course, big damage also from the burn from SDE. So if we were to continue that, in some situations I saw actually SDE out damage Wukong. Wukong overall damage monster, no question about it. Especially my copy, honestly, I love my roll. It's just insane how much damage that puts out. But is still definitely a hero that can put out a lot of damage. Maybe we can try that one more time. I think I got a few higher numbers against Bravestar. Tried that too. Let's go in there. Twine coming in, okay. No longer that consistent with the Twine, the TBB. Still hurts a lot though when she attacks. Honestly, still hurts a lot. So let's see. We got some counterattacks there going. Okay. DGN counterattack. IEA hits. I got some deaths there. Got the Dazzle over there, Dazzle over there, Dazzle over there. So you can see the Dazzle is fairly consistent. I really removed Oscar from this so that we don't have any confusion on this going out. The damage from her ult almost always feels like it doesn't really exist, but it does put out a whole lot of damage over time. It does put up the sun, which in turn will also deal a ton of damage. So that always works in our favor, and if we get like a basic on turn 2, we can heal a little bit from it, and if not, then we still have our Dazzle up, we still have our hits up. So a hero that now works rather well to a surprisingly good extent. If you don't get like the chain kills, if you don't have like 2 or 3 heroes like the LBRM and the IEA dying on the same hit, you got a decent chance now to really inflict your Dazzle on like the other units, and I think honestly, to an extent, that works better than Oscar. Oscar, of course, is like the bigger threat. Oscar is the bigger threat. We can try to slot in Oscar here now. Oscar is the bigger threat in the sense that it really punishes you for putting up heroes with energy artifacts, because they immediately will try to dazzle them. So that can be really punishing. But on the other end, he kind of struggles to get like this mid-round Dazzle going, to really get this mid-round Dazzle going and really inflict Dazzle throughout the fight. And the condition that we just have on SDE is just so much easier. It just works so much easier because we just get 1 kill and we spread the Dazzle. And that is a little bit better. It doesn't really have this like immediate counter, we can say. We got stunned there, how annoying. We got the good ult out. Oh, that could be interesting damage-wise. Could be interesting. I kind of want to remove the Wukong if I'm honest. But it would be cheating. It would be cheating, I think. When she dies, by the way, the damage is horrible. But we got now Dazzle on the TBB, effectively making her completely useless. How much damage can we put out with the SDE? We just got the IEA death. Second ult going out. And that finishes it. And we got 550 billion damage it is actually there, which is not really bad, not at all. Out-damaging our IEA, out-damaging enemy LBRM. So you can see how that is really big damage. I intentionally didn't put Nova on her. It kind of feels like Nova would be a pick on her because it's just like the entire enemy team. I think Nova is still better suited for LBRM. So if I wanted to do that, I would put it there. It's always tough for such videos to kind of move the Star Swords around. We had the topic in the live stream. Always have to do the Star Sword quests, and I would probably have to do like 3-4 Star Sword quests to really set this up optimally. Which I really don't see myself there. Let's try this with Oscar. Okay, little switch in the team now. Now we put Oscar with the core in there. We do have double Dazzle in that sense. Makes it a little bit harder for us to really track who inflicts the Dazzle, but I wanted to see how that ends up working. Turn 1 from the start, we really don't have any Dazzle applied to the enemy, at least not a whole lot. Will be interesting to see how that changes now throughout the fight. A whole lot of ordnance already on our Oscar. Oscar also with Snowheart on there. We got Dazzle basically on everybody with that, which is insane. Completely avoiding the IE damage. TBB only hitting one enemy. That LFA is positioned so great to fight my team. It is honestly a little bit ridiculous. It is honestly a little bit ridiculous because it's always facing this LVRM exactly, which is the weakest link in this team. At least as long as she doesn't have like the proper star soul on there. Can we take out this LFA, please? Oh wait, it's also already on perceptual disorder. Okay, that's no longer a problem. Get a little bit damage over time there. My team is so weak. But yeah, we survived. How much damage did we do? 588 mil. And the Dazzle was pretty nice. Didn't really save us from the enemy LBRM at all. She dealt a ton of damage. That's like just the case. This we can try against Darth Maul as well. Now you can see why I like this treasure. Why I like particularly this one orange treasure. Because it enables like the whole Dazzle that we get from SDE. So again, with the start, really Oscar doesn't really do too well at the start of the fight. You can see why I prefer SDE, because we got the Dazzle out there, we got the Dazzle out there, and the Dazzle from Oscar at the start is just a little bit lackluster. Honestly, I really wanted to like the guy, but at this point, I would say in terms of applying Dazzle is outperformed by SDE. In terms of damage is outperformed by SDE. We got nice utility. All damage reduction, all damage dealt from him, which is good. So I don't hate that. I don't hate that. And probably if we had like a longer fight, I think we had some nice interactions with him because he can scale up his damage quite well. But then again, we would, the same would be for SDE. And if we had longer fights, we could even go for some dot damage team, which would be insane. Yeah, once again, Wukong. Such a menace with the damage. So yeah, definitely a very, very interesting change, I would say, to SDE. One that I think was kind of a little bit overlooked because I didn't see much hype around her. Then again, not many people are playing her. Last one, when self dies, it deals additional damage equal to 20% of the remaining burn damage to all enemies. The thing is, I tried that. It really didn't feel like such a nuke. So you would hope that it would be a nuke. It doesn't really work that well. It isn't really that. The last part was the one that I liked. If the target is not burned, inflict 600% of attack divine retribution on the target. But then again, if you run SDE, if you run Nova, it's so tough to have the enemy not burned. Because it's not like people are running damage over time, purify, and countermeasures to damage over time because it's just not effective. Because you will always get hit with that initial hit of damage over time. So people are not really countering it. Which means we have this relatively small divine retribution and you are unlikely to really hit the enemy with it. So, not really working too well. It gets upgraded to 1000 though, which is cool. It's still not enough, I think, to really make that worth it. It's a decent treasure nonetheless. If you get it to work, then it's most likely in a situation where your SDE died immediately. Which you also do not want, so I don't know about that one. But we are getting to the point where if you were to get like a selection of treasures, so let's say you get like the standard drop where you get one chest basically of every type, where there are certain treasures that I would prefer. So for example, in a lot of, you would get a chest where basically only this middle treasure was in, then this would really be one of the top treasures to pick, I think. And I don't know if we really want to make something like a leaderboard there, if we want to make something like a tier list. Because there are some treasures that are more hype for it. Right now I'm not doing it because we didn't really get any drop opportunities from DH, so I reckon the interest of people for that is limited. It's not really something that people have to care about. I reckon at one point we're going to get to the point where we're going to get treasures for chests for those treasures more freely available. And at that point I think we really do need a tier list. Because I wouldn't pick every treasure from this. I would probably go for this one. Maybe go for the pink one if you're like going to main SDE. But then there are some other ones that are great too. And of course, I talked about this in the reviews, but splitting this up and focusing on some of those could really be interesting. What's the max version of this? Let's check this out for the end of this video. We have a little bit bigger burn there, okay. And 40% Dazzle stays. So really, that is a treasure that is really, really cheap. Energy reduction. Okay, we get more energy reduction, which is good. But I mean, like, if you have this at 2-star, which means you got the treasure twice, I think, you already got like most of what you need here. You basically got like so much already that I would argue that's probably not worth to progress this any further. But this is really good. This is really good. I will not be surprised to see some people really wanting to run SDE now on the team. Just because you get so much from her. You get the damage, you get some energy drain, you get Dazzle on top of that, which is really good and can help you definitely avoid some damage from it. You have all of the burn, you have everything that makes her great, with some self-scaling as well. It's honestly cool. And enemy dice increase self, all damage dealt 12% and energy by 50. And when ally dies, you get damage reduction control immunity. But when the enemy dies, this is like pretty nice. And you can it's one of the rare instances where we have an infinite scaling. This is one of the things that DH nerfed in many situations. We had this on Gurki, where you would like buff your heroes with holy damage, and it would basically be till the end of the fight, so an infinite round buff. And this is also an infinite round buff. That's pretty crazy, actually. If we had a situation where an enemy dies over and over again, then this could be insane. Well, maybe in the future this could become broken. Yeah, but I'm waiting for it. I mean, I'm kind of thinking about running her a little bit. Maybe setting her up a little bit better. I don't think she can do much in PvE. She was never, probably miss damage over time is weak in PvE. Damage over time is really weak in PvE, so I don't think there's really much going on. We can check out the damage. I will throw in some trash units here. Oh, we could do a little bit of synergy stuff here. Wait a second. Do we have that? I have level 1. I don't think level 1 works. Okay, we're going to go with that. I wanted to do Michelle's, because Michelle's can obviously die twice, but I don't think level 1 Michelle's can actually do that. So let's try her alone. Let's see what she can do. And obviously we get the burn there. She's self-scaled a little bit. Now we got the ult up. Ult basically did nothing and we got one shot. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like... yeah, okay. Against the new SL, probably not doing too much, and it never really was a PvE carry, so we kind of keep that away. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Tell me your opinion about SDE. Did you try her before? What do you think about the treasures? She's definitely one of the heroes where I say the treasures could make her interesting and could shift her back into the meta. And I can see some situations where I would really want to run her. Would be really cool. Honestly, like an XT offer. Ooh, XT offer would be so sick. But too expensive. I should stop dreaming. Anyway. Last words. The giveaway on SG Hub has now ended. We did a 100,000 Starry Gem giveaway. If you've missed it, that is very sad. We got 5 winners. Each one got 20,000 Starry Gems, so 100,000 in total. We are going to do more giveaways. I wanted to announce that as well. Last year, I think we did like 3 giveaways, which is still a lot, but I think I just want to do a few more. I want to do more giveaways. I was thinking like 5 or 6 this year, something like that. So I kind of want to do a lot more. So definitely I would recommend you guys to join SG Hub and to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss our giveaways, because we are doing some insane ones, that much I can promise. And we are going to give out big amounts of Starry Gems for free. And you know, every time we do the giveaways, it's easy to win. It's not a whole lot of stuff that you can do. It's usually just click the participate button and you're in the giveaway. So some of the fairest giveaways out there. Anyway, if you want to support that, hit that subscribe button, join the SG Hub Discord. If you also want some cheap Starry Gems, you can save 80% compared to the in-game prices. Definitely worth it. If you don't do it right now, and if you still buy in-game, then you're doing it wrong, honestly. And other than that, I just wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.